Welcome back to True Crime Documentary YouTube channel, The Tragic Night in 2001, a case that shook New York's elite New York City in 2001 was a city of boundless ambition, where the glittering skyline reflected dreams, power, and, for some, secrets hidden in its towering penthouses. One such secret came to light on a cold January morning when Sophia Calloway, a brilliant and celebrated media executive, was found dead in her luxurious apartment. What began as a seemingly intimate gathering among friends turned into a harrowing tragedy, shaking the city's upper echelons and exposing the toxic dynamics that can lurk beneath the facade of success. Sophia Calloway, 36, was not just a name but a brand. Known for her intellect and charisma, she had climbed the ranks of the competitive media industry to become the CEO of Urban Edge Media, a conglomerate revered for its innovative storytelling and cultural impact. Sophia's journey from an intern to the helm of a multi-billion-dollar corporation was nothing short of remarkable. Her determination and vision transformed Urban Edge Media into a global powerhouse, making her one of the most influential figures in the industry. Yet, behind the polished veneer of Sophia's success lay a complex personal life fraught with challenges. Her high-profile marriage to Nathaniel Blake, a real estate tycoon, was the talk of New York society for years. Together, they epitomized the modern power couple, gracing magazine covers and dazzling at galas. But beneath the surface, their marriage was a battlefield of infidelity, ambition, and unmet expectations. Nathaniel's reckless spending and extramarital affairs strained their union, leading to a bitter and public divorce that left Sophia reeling. The end of her marriage marked a shift in Sophia's life. Though she maintained her poised and confident public image, those closest to her knew of the loneliness she struggled to mask. Sophia sought refuge in the fast-paced nightlife of New York, attending exclusive parties and immersing herself in fleeting relationships that offered distraction but little solace. Despite her best efforts to move forward, the scars of betrayal and loss lingered, shaping her decisions and the company she kept. It was on the evening of January 15, 2001, that Sophia hosted what would become her final gathering. The setting was her opulent penthouse overlooking Central Park, a space often filled with lively conversations and laughter. This time, the guest list was intentionally small, 5 men who played significant roles in her life. Elliot Morgan, a prominent attorney who had been Sophia's confidant during her divorce. Elliot was sharp, meticulous, and known for his ability to manipulate situations to his advantage. Jason Ralston, her business partner at Urban Edge Media, whose aggressive style complemented Sophia's strategic vision. Jason's ambition often bordered on ruthless, and his admiration for Sophia carried undertones of envy. Victor Hale, a senior manager at Urban Edge and a trusted ally. Victor was dependable and unassuming, though he harbored unspoken feelings for Sophia Andrew Carr, Sophia's childhood friend and one of the few who had known her before her rise to fame. Andrew's affable demeanor masked a simmering resentment over their diverging paths in life. Liam Cross, a model and Sophia's younger lover. While their relationship was casual, Liam's possessiveness often created tension, especially when he felt overshadowed by others in Sophia's orbit. The evening began with an air of sophistication. Sophia, dressed in an elegant off-shoulder black gown, greeted her guests with warmth and grace. The penthouse was adorned with soft lighting and tasteful decor, setting the stage for what appeared to be a refined evening of conversation and camaraderie. Yet beneath the surface, undercurrents of rivalry and tension brewed among the guests. As the night progressed, alcohol flowed freely, and the atmosphere grew increasingly charged. Elliot, ever the lawyer, monopolized the conversation with anecdotes of courtroom victories, each story punctuated with subtle compliments aimed at Sophia. Jason countered by boasting of a recent business triumph, his assertive tone cutting through Elliot's polished rhetoric. Victor, the quiet observer, watched the interactions closely, occasionally interjecting with measured remarks that revealed his deep respect for Sophia. Liam, visibly agitated, tried to draw Sophia's attention away from the others, often interrupting conversations to share private jokes or anecdotes. Meanwhile, Andrew alternated between charm and passive-aggressive comments, his frustration simmering just beneath the surface. By midnight, the once cordial gathering had devolved into a cacophony of competing egos. The alcohol-fueled bravado of the men became more pronounced, their exchanges laced with innuendo and veiled provocations. Sophia, visibly affected by the drinks, attempted to maintain control of the evening, but struggled to navigate the growing tension. As the night wore on, Sophia began to lose her composure. Her laughter became strained, her movements sluggish. Unbeknownst to her, a potent stimulant had been slipped into one of her drinks, rendering her increasingly vulnerable. The men, emboldened by her deteriorating state, crossed boundaries they once respected. What happened next would forever remain shrouded in mystery. Fragmented recollections from the men and the physical evidence pieced together a horrifying narrative of betrayal. Sophia, unable to defend herself, became the victim of their escalating aggression. One by one, the men exploited her vulnerability, their actions driven by lust, envy, and a misguided sense of entitlement. By the early hours of the morning, the penthouse had fallen silent. The men left one by one, each retreating into the night with the weight of their actions buried beneath layers of denial and justification. Sophia was left alone, unconscious and unresponsive, in her bedroom. At dawn, Margaret Calloway, Sophia's mother, returned from a business trip. Excited to reunite with her daughter, she entered the penthouse unaware of the horrors that awaited her. The scene that greeted Margaret was one of devastation. Scattered glasses, disheveled furniture, and an unsettling silence. When Margaret found Sophia in her bedroom, the sight brought her to her knees. Her daughter lay motionless, her body marked with bruises and evidence of struggle. Overwhelmed with grief and panic, Margaret called the police, her cries echoing through the empty penthouse. Detective Jack Harris, a seasoned investigator with the NYPD, took charge of the case. Harris, known for his methodical approach and unrelenting pursuit of justice, immediately recognized the gravity of the situation. The crime scene told a story of excess, neglect, and violence. An autopsy confirmed that Sophia had died from asphyxiation compounded by an overdose of alcohol and a stimulant. Her body bore signs of sexual assault, indicating a prolonged and deliberate attack. The presence of the stimulant suggested foul play, as Sophia had no history of drug use. Harris turned his attention to the 5 men who had attended the party. Each was brought in for questioning, their alibis scrutinized, and their relationships with Sophia dissected. Elliot, the composed attorney, claimed to have left early and denied witnessing anything unusual. Jason offered vague and contradictory statements, his usual confidence shaken. Victor appeared cooperative but evasive when pressed for details. Andrew's demeanor oscillated between defensive and remorseful, while Liam, the youngest of the group, displayed signs of guilt and paranoia. The investigation uncovered damning evidence. DNA analysis linked 2 of the men directly to the assault, while security footage from the building showed each of them leaving the penthouse at different times, none of them seeking help for Sophia. Text messages recovered from Sophia's phone revealed her growing unease during the party, with one message to a friend stating, "Something feels off tonight." The trial, dubbed the Penthouse 5 case, captivated the nation. media coverage was relentless, with reporters chronicling every development and commentators debating the broader implications of the case. For many, Sophia's death symbolized the dark side of privilege and power, a cautionary tale of how ambition and ego can corrupt. Prosecutors presented a compelling case, weaving together forensic evidence, eyewitness testimony, and the defendant's own conflicting statements. The narrative they constructed was damning. A group of men who, driven by personal agendas, betrayed a woman they professed to respect. Defense attorneys attempted to shift blame, arguing that Sophia's lifestyle and choices made her vulnerable. They claimed that her death was a tragic accident, exacerbated by her own actions. However, these arguments were dismantled by the prosecution, which highlighted the defendant's predatory behavior and collective failure to seek help. The jury's verdict was unanimous. All 5 men were found guilty of sexual assault and negligent manslaughter. Their sentences ranged from 15 to 20 years in prison, a harsh but just outcome that underscored the severity of their crimes. Sophia Calloway's death sparked a wave of reflection and reform. Advocacy groups rallied around her story, calling for greater accountability and protections against abuse. Her case prompted discussions about the intersection of power, privilege, and vulnerability, challenging societal norms that often shield the wealthy from scrutiny. For Margaret Calloway, the loss of her daughter was a wound that would never fully heal. Yet she found purpose in her grief, establishing the Sophia Calloway Foundation to support survivors of abuse and promote education about consent and accountability. Sophia's legacy endures as a beacon of resilience and a reminder of the importance of justice. Her story, though tragic, continues to inspire change, ensuring that her voice is never forgotten. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Be sure to check out our other videos for more captivating stories. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.